Do they have good intentions? We're going to find out. We're going to do a psychic spying reading, psychic spying tarot reading. And we're going to find out if somebody in your life has good intentions and how it's going to pan out. Okay, if you're new here, I'm Richard, aka the Urban Warlock of Urban Warlock Healing, and I do my readings a bit differently, especially for over here in the UK. There's not many readers like me about, to be honest with you. Right, so if you want a standard psychic spine reading, they're 25 quid. You can hop down to the video description. You can find my Beacons AI link in there to get yours. They're 8 cards per spread. I'm going to do a slightly longer one for this collective. So let's start off with what's the intention. So if you've got somebody in your energy and you're a little bit unsure, a little bit kind of get the feeling that something might be a little bit off or amiss here, we're going to find out what's not being said, put it that way. Right, let's have a look. Excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today. Right, 7 of Swords, Devil in the reverse, Strength card, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups in the reverse. Right, so 7 of Swords. Swords are where we think words we use. I'm going to go standard tarot book version of this and say there is some sneaky deceptive behaviour that has been or is going off in the background. Okay, now what this is to do with Devil in the reverse. So the Devil card for me talks about either leaning on toxic crutches and vices, or being chained to some kind of toxic karmic person. Okay, and I'm saying person because it doesn't have to be love-based, but we do have the naked Adam and Eve figure there. Now, upright position, stuck there, can't see a way out. Okay, reverse position, still in that situation, still in that environment or energy, and going, do you know what? I need to break the chains of this devil. Strength card. I'm not going for strength here. I'm going for pride. I think the pride's kicked in about a situation. 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles relates to the element of earth, can mean money and finance, can mean non-financial wealth. That's where we're investing our time, efforts and energies in. Now this card's about feeling left out in the cold. We've got the 2 homeless figures here. Trudging through the snow. Pentacles, stained glass window of the church. Okay. We then got the 5 of Cups in the reverse. Cups, water, emotion. So that figure there's normally in black. They're normally in a black cape, but this is a reverse deck. 3 cups fallen over, 2 full ones behind them. Upright position, stuck in grieving mode, can't see a way forwards. Reverse position, as I always say with this card, it's okay to be angry, sad, peed off, annoyed. Something's not worked out, something's gone wrong, but it's about realising there will be better times ahead. So I think that this person has been involved in some sneaky deceptive behaviour behind your back. I think that they've been involved in this with another personal collective, but they've started to realise, this is quite toxic. Now, with the Strength card and the 5 of Pentacles there, I feel like that they're feeling left out in the cold because I think that they want to kind of fess up to something that's been going off, but I think the pride's stopping them from doing that. Let's continue. 9 of Cups, Queen of Cups in the reverse, 2 of Swords, Emperor in the reverse. So 9 of Cups, 9's reflection cards. Now this card for me is normally when stuff's gone wrong, people have let us down. It's about looking back and going, do you know what? I turned up, I showed up, I put everything I could do in. FM sideways, they can watch me rise. What it's got more of an air of is that this person's trying to convince themselves, because they don't want to tell you the truth, because they don't want to reach out for any help. They're trying to kind of fool themselves into going, well, do you know what? I gave it my best effort. No, they didn't. They've not, this person needs to say something to you. So this person needs to fess up and tell you what's actually been going off and what that devil energy is. Queen of Cups in the reverse. So court cards can be energy within ourselves, can be the energy of somebody else around us. Queen's feminine energy. Remember, it's energy, not gender, so it can be a man, woman, somebody non-binary. So despite trying to delude themselves, their feminine energies are upset and wounded, okay? 2 of Swords. Swords are where we think words we use. So they're the lady there, cross swords, decisions, left path, right path, stick or twist. Problem is they've got blindfold on, so they're trying to bury their head in the sand in regard to the situation, and that's just continuing to stagnate things. Emperor in the reverse. So the Emperor in the upright position is what we call the divine masculine. He's like the kings, but he's combined. Good ruler, good leader, wise, knowledgeable, firm but fair, not afraid of fight, not afraid of change. Reverse position is what we call toxic masculine energy. Now, I want to tie that into this devil energy. I do think it's a person, okay? And I think that because they're burying the head in the sand in regard to the situation, this person is going to keep controlling them, okay? Let's continue. Ten of Cups. Star card in the reverse. Empress in the reverse. Right, so 10's completion cards. I call this the Happy Families card. Couple arm in arm, kiddies dancing under the rainbow. We often call it a wish fulfillment on an emotional level. Now, I think what's happening here is that this person is falling in line with this Emperor in the reverse because either A, they're putting other people above their own happiness, or again, they're trying to delude themselves that this is where they're supposed to be, this is what's going to make them happy. The problem is that's then followed up by the Star card in the reverse. So the Star card talks about our hopes, dreams, aspirations, wishing on a bigger star. That's starting to evaporate. But this person doesn't feel strong enough to make a change. Empress in the reverse. So the Empress in the upright position is what we call the divine feminine. She's like the Queen's, but she's combined. She knows her worth and value. She doesn't chase, she attracts. You want this, you come and get it, but you turn up right. No pages, no knights. Upright kings often might do, provided it can step up into that pure, true Emperor energy. Reverse position is what we call toxic feminine energy. Backing down, rolling over, submitting to this toxic masculine, basically. Let's continue. Knight of Swords. Lovers. Right, so Knight of Swords. So knights don't have the knowledge or experience of the kings and the queens more so than the pages. This knight talks about either news coming in fast or expressing ourselves. Okay, I've got a feeling that could be coming from the Emperor in the reverse, which then ignites the Lovers card. So if this is a love-based thing, which I don't think it is, to be honest with you, then the Lovers card, believe it or not, for me at least, isn't a good card. It indicates a lust-based connection. Okay, it's not designed to last. What I'm more drawn to is the fiery winged angel at the top. Fire, passion, excitement. Okay, overall outcome card. 3 of Wands in the reverse. So this is about going in a new direction. So they're the person there, turn the back on the past, about to take the first steps out into the great unknown. Reverse position, holding off on pushing forwards. Okay, obstacles or blockages. Queen of Wands. So the obstacle or blockage here is that this person thinks they're in or thinks they can achieve Queen of Wands feminine power in this environment, and the answer is no, they can't. Okay, they're deluding themselves. Removing any blockages. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So so upright position, we call this guy the apprentice. So we've got the chap there on the bench banging away at the pentacles. He knows he's not a master of his skill yet, but he's happy to go through that process. When it's in the reverse position, it talks about grinding away, getting frustrated. I think that's advice for you, saying that this person is just going to frustrate you. So yeah, this person has been up to some sneaky deceptive behaviour. With an Emperor in the reverse, they've started to realise, oh shit, are we the bad guys? Okay, and realising that they need to break away from that devil energy. The problem is the pride's kicking in the way. Okay, so they're kind of stumbling around in the dark. There is help there, and I think it might come from you, provided this person tells you the truth and comes forwards. They're sad that things aren't working out, but they're trying to remain positive to go, do you know what? There will be better times ahead. And trying to kind of put on this air of I did everything that I could do from my side, but the reality is underneath they're upset. They're burying the head in sand in regard to the situation, which is that this person's toxic masculine and that they're being controlled, and then trying to again delude themselves, convince themselves that whatever this connection is, it's these are the people that I'm supposed to be with, or I can achieve the 10 of Cups here, but that Star card, their true hopes, dreams and aspirations are just slowly evaporating day after day after day. But they're in toxic feminine energy. They're easily susceptible to what's been said and told to them. I think this Emperor can sense that they're not happy, and I think this Emperor can sense that potentially this person wants to go in a new direction. So they rush in with this news, which is designed to ignite them, and then that does stop them from pushing forwards. So let's go on to the divination row. Normally base these over the next 6 months. Just whilst I'm shuffling, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please. Lots of daily content. Drop us a comment, give your opinion on this, and give it a like as well whilst you're there, please, people. Right, so spread 2 based over the next 6 months. What's going to happen? Yeah, it's got an air of this person wants to come back on board or tell you something, but they're just holding off. They're just completely holding off. So we've got Death card in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse, Moon card in the reverse, Ace of Wands, Chariot in the reverse. Right, so Death card, Fixed card, Rebirth. It's actually a positive card. It's about shedding old skin, removing people, things and places from your life that no longer serves, killing off some behaviour or something along those lines within you. Now in the upright position, the universe steps in and does that for you. Reverse position, you're being asked, well, they're being asked to do a self-imposed death card, but I think they're going to resist. Okay, they're not going to want to do it, and I feel like it's them removing themselves from this Emperor in the reverse's energy. Knight of Cups in the reverse, Knight's forward motion. So this Knight's about an offer. He's coming forward and offering the cup. So I think this is this person not pushing forwards with what's going to make them happy. So what the universe is going to do is going to reveal something to them, some clarity. Okay, Moon card in the reverse. So the Moon card in the upright for me talks about the unknowns. It's when we feel like something's off and we can't put a finger on it, or we're scrabbling around looking for the piece of the jigsaw puzzle and we can't get them all together. Upright position, the Moon card says there's no point looking yet. It's not ready to be revealed. Reverse position, they're going to get some clarity. It could possibly come through in dream state. Okay. Ace of Wands. Wands fire action. Ace is bringing in new energy, not starting something new. So I'm just going to quickly run through this example just so that people are aware. So sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes people think Ace is about starting something, because a standard playing card deck starts at Ace. It's the first card. It's the start point. Think about it this way. If you came to me and said, Richard, I want to completely change my career, I don't know what I want to do. Well, Ace would be researching industries and sectors. 2 would be applying. 3 would be 2 would be applying and interviewing. 3 would be starting. So this is about reassessing, right, long term. Where do I fit in to all of this? What's my purpose? Should I stay or should I go? Chariot card in the reverse. So the Chariot card, excuse me, I have terrible allergies and my nose has started itching. Chariot card for me talks about either the energy around us or questions of should I do it, is the time right. Now if it's energetic, I describe the Chariot as a little bit of a juggernaut, so it can take a bit of time to get the wheels in motion, but once it picks up speed it's going to plough through everything like a freight train. Reverse position, stagnation, brakes are on. Okay. Upright position, should I do it? Yes. Reverse position, no. I think it's more stagnation. Okay. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, it is. 2 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, maybe not. I think it's still stagnation. I think the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is somebody else. Now again, this Knight's about an offer. It's either a financial or energetic offer. It's in the reverse. I think what's happening here is the universe is stagnating the situation, going, it's not time to push forwards yet, because that Knight of Pentacles, which is either going to be the Emperor in the reverse or somebody connected to the Emperor in the reverse, so a flying monkey of sorts, and something's not going to materialise. And the reason why you're being asked don't push forwards yet is because you kind of need to see it for yourself. You need to see it for well, they need to see it, I should say, with their eyes wide open, so that they don't get stuck in this yes but am I wrong. That then leads to the Two of Wands. So this is about making a plan moving forward. So they're the chap there, globe in the hand, surveying the scenery. We know that they know what they want by now because they've done the ace. So then they're moving on to the planning stage. Three of Pentacles. So this is a collaboration card. We've got three characters here, landowner, builder, architect, all working together to build this beautiful cathedral. Different roles, different skill sets, same long-term vision. I think that this is them coming to the conclusion that this emperor and their cronies aren't their soul tribe. They're not the right fit. So that's them kind of going, do you know what? I want people around me who support me. I want people around me who have that same long-term goal. They're going to try and manifest it, but it's not going to work. Magician in the reverse. Any attempt to manifest this situation is going to get blocked. Why? Because they're still in this person's orbit. And this is what needs to happen with the death card. They're supposed to be going, do you know what? Really sorry, doesn't align with me. Don't feel like you're my person or my people. It's time to mosey on over there. Now, the problem that they're going to have is because they have been involved in some sneaky deceptive behaviour. This emperor in the reverse isn't going to let them just kind of bugger off because they've got secrets. They've got something that they can tell you, the collective. So if they think that they can just easily manifest it better, oh, I'm out of here, it ain't going to work like that. Let's continue. Ten of Swords. Knight of Wands in the reverse. King of Wands. Right, so swords there where we think words, we use tens completion cards. It's not the nicest card in the deck. This is body face down with swords at its back. This emperor is going to do something to stab this person in the back, metaphorically speaking, of course. Reason being is, as I just said, I think that they've got wind that this person doesn't want to be part of their little club anymore, and they're not going to allow them to go quietly, you know. Right, Knight of Wands in the reverse. I'm going to say this is the person we're reading on. So Knight's forward motion. This Knight's about, you know, rushing forwards, getting on the horse, getting out of dodge. So that's going to stop them from pushing forwards. King of Wands. King's masculine energy. Now, it could be somebody else who's a King of Wands who's going to help this person out, give them a bit of backing and firepower. It could be the Emperor in the reverse putting on a show. Because the thing with toxic masculines is, yes, when they're getting their way, they're not too much of a pain in the arse. So it's almost like you fall in line and I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to look after you. If you start pulling away though, you know, I'm going to get those swords out. Not afraid to stab you in the back. King of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. Right, so I think the King of Wands is somebody else. It could be you. It could potentially be you, the collective, right? Yeah, King of Swords. King of Swords in the upright position is how I describe my reading style. Blunt, direct, to the point, here to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Again, I'm going to say that's the King of Wands. So there's some reluctance to push forwards, but for whatever reason, I think that you might be aware of this. You touch base, you make contact, and go about it in a kind of mature leadership way. I think the King of Swords is you then kind of giving them a little bit of a pep talk, a little bit of tough love pep talk. Nine of Pentacles, I'm going to say that hopefully this is them reflecting back and going, do you know what, with that previous collective, with that Emperor in the reverse, I turned up, I showed up, I put the F in, I'm sorry if that's not good enough for them, but I'm done, I'm out, you know, there's nothing more I can give or do. Overall outcome card. Ace of Swords in the reverse. No, I'm going to change my mind. So Ace is again bringing in new energy. So this Ace is about going, right, long term I need to change my mindset. It's in the reverse position, refusing to do that. Obstacles or blockages. Four of Cups in the reverse. So we've got the figure there under the tree, stuck, bored, jaded, fed up, staring at the three cups in front of them. Cloud, handcuff, no opportunities. I think the obstacle or blockage for this person is that they realise there's better opportunities out there, but they're not making the move or the break to make the change. Removing any blockages. Judgment. Okay, they need to realise that they're worth more than this. So I'm going to stick with what I said up until that King of Wands. So they're going to get stabbed in the back by this person, you know, so to speak, and that's going to stop them pushing forwards. I then think the King of Wands / Emperor in the reverse is going to put on this act, put on this charade, that they're a good ruler and leader, and they're sorry that they had to do that. It was just some tough love. I think the King of Swords is somebody else. I think that could be you, the collective. You get wind of this, you hear about this, so you try and give them a verbal talking to. Come on, you can make the change. You don't have to be around this person and their collective. But they're gonna kind of say no, because they've been manipulated so much by this point. Things are gonna turn good. This is my lot. This is what I need to be grateful of. And then ultimately they're not going to change their mindset. Well, more fool them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink and all that. This person knows that the behaviour going off is wrong. This person knows that they're tied into it somehow. And this person knows that they need to break the chains of the devil of that Emperor in the reverse. Sad fact is, it ain't gonna go that way. They're gonna get pulled back into it. They're gonna end up settling. They're gonna refuse to change their mindset. You can only do what you can do. You can't force somebody to change. You can't force somebody to see the light. God only knows that I've tried enough times with people. And it's about accepting that if this is the choice this person wants to make, this is the choice this person wants to make. And it's sad because I think that you would be willing to give, provided they kind of gave you the God's honest truth. I do think that you'd be willing to help this person. I'm not saying that you'd kind of let them back automatically into your field, into your clique, but I think you would be willing to help them, and I think that's the what's going to accumulate in you going King of Swords with them. But until they realise that they need help and support getting away from this Emperor and their cronies, there ain't a lot else that you can do, I'm afraid. I just saw 21:21 on the timer. It won't match up because I cut the ends off. So if you're looking down again, it's not 21:21. That's why I cut the ends off. Yeah. There you go. That's what's going off in the background. So somebody's realised they've been involved in something. They've been manipulated by this Emperor in the reverse. They start to think about leaving, but ultimately they're going to get pulled back into it again. So there you go. If you want a personalised reading, like I say, Psychic Spine readers are not quite as long as that. It's 8 cards per spread. But just trying to bump up the watch time a bit on here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, please. And if you want a personalised reading, that's 25 quid. Loads of different options available. Head down to the video description. Beacons AI link. Clicky click. Get yours today. Good luck out there. Ta-ta.